So good morning, Richard. It's Dr. Jim here, founder of I'm Just a Man. I'm very honoured, as is the whole team, to have you part of not only sponsoring but being part of the event, because you've been to it, I think, a couple of times now. Yeah,
We've been twice now. Yeah,
you've been to all of them.
Yeah.
Why are you sponsoring this year?
Ooh, yeah, good question. Construction industry is one thing. Okay, we're in the building industry. I think it's one part. For me,
Maybe tell them what you do.
Okay, yeah. What do we do? So we're in the building and construction industry. Everything from general handyman maintenance work to renovations, extensions, building. I love to build. That's what I love to do. And we've got a passion with the guys. Love to do it as well. But for me, the biggest part I think was definitely close people. Yeah. Different things affect different people in different ways. The construction industry is a very manly industry. It's we're men, we build, we don't share emotions, we don't want to talk, and that's the hard one. That is the real hard one. I mean, I've recently been reading articles about just the high usage of drugs, methamphetamines, cocaine, everything, and the drive and the hidden drive that is within the industry as well, in order to maintain and to do things. Obviously, that's a little bit more on the commercial end, not necessarily the residential. Well, that's my assumptions. But there's a lot of effects that happen out there, and the awareness of it, of people to be able to be aware that they're not on their own in an issue. The issues, although may be uniquely your own, you are not alone, and that I think is a big thing that I want to be able to try and get across of why it's important for me, for our guys, to have that input, and just the industry in general, and just the awareness in the industry. It's 4 or 6 times more likely in the construction industry to commit suicide than you are in the other industry. The only one bigger, I think, is the mining industry. So that's saying something.
Richard, one thing that I know, having met you and Micah, I was this morning at Micah's B&I.
Yours is better.
Yours is better, yes. B&I Proper Partners, and B&I Inner City is where he is, and your business is called Clever Dick. You say something that you've struck me as, because you are the visionary behind Clever Dick Services and Construction Commercial. You always talk about community. Tell us more about community.
Okay. Right.
So you talked about many, I think when I met you, and we've had many lengthy conversations, even though we're like ships in the night when we talk. One thing that you talk about is how to get involved, because that's how I feel like you're part of I'm Just a Man. What's your thing with building and community? There's something there, I think.
We're gonna have to pinch a phrase from Spider-Man on this one, which is, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think that if you've got the ability to generate money, you have a reason or a purpose to do something with that money. Now, that's not saying that you can't go off and buy Ferraris and go buy Mercedes and go buy whatever that you want to go do, because those things are important and they're your personal reward things. But I think I actually believe we have a responsibility back in the community in one way or another. It doesn't have to be with kids, it doesn't have to be football. It has to be something that's important to you. If it's not important to you, you're not going to be passionate about it, and you're not going to believe in it, and you're not going to want to get involved in it. So that's my one that I encourage any business out there. Whatever it is that you might be affected by on a personal level, maybe that's something you should get involved in. And that's why for me this is why it's big for me. Yeah.
I asked you to wear a suit and a rock t-shirt.
Yeah.
So thank you.
My pleasure.
Why are you doing that? What is it on the night that we get guys to do with the rock t-shirts?
Wear them.
Yes. I like that. Very good. Do we as guys relate to music and you believe?
I love music. Yeah, absolutely. The world without music is so boring. There's so much music that is out there, and it speaks to people in different ways. So that's why I love music. You hear a song, you hear a lyric, you hear a riff, you hear a beat. Doesn't matter. You hear a particular voice, and you just marry into it. I've got a soundtrack for when I travel through Europe, and that was Seal's album.
Wow.
Many years ago. So just about 24 years ago.
Wow.
25. And I remember having the cassette player, and I had Seal, and that album by Seal was my soundtrack for travelling through Europe.
Amazing.
And even when I hear those songs now, it takes me back to certain places. I think we've all got a connection with music in some way or some manner. It's spoken to us. We've gotten angry at some point, and then something soothed us, or something's made us angry because we've listened to it, or it's just brought an emotion out. It's made us think about something. That's the beauty about music. It doesn't matter, and it can be even without lyrics. Amazing. What I like to have instrumental is spectacular because there are certain beats and rhythms that speak to us.
Wow.
And musicians totally understand this. The way that a music or that a song is actually written, it can toy with you either emotionally or mentally, and it can take you on certain journeys in certain ways. I've got numerous different artists and different genres that I love. I don't have a single artist that I love the most.
I love it.
Yeah.
Your guys, you're very innovative in what you do. What's something that you feel, you believe that's in maybe the ethos of your culture, with I guess most of the people that work with you on the tools are males?
Yeah.
And it's not having a go against any of the girls out there.
No, but I will actually say, in every advertisement we've run, we've never had one single female trade apply.
Okay.
Now, that's not to say that there are... okay, that's a whole different subject altogether, but obviously it is a strong demand industry. But anyway, we'll save that for another chat. Let's go on. Okay.
So what is it that you feel that you do? Because I know Micah quite well, as you know too. And what is it? What's the culture that you guys have built with Clever Dick that's unique to you? That yes, you're building incredible stuff for the community, but also that has people wanting to be part of what you do.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. Alright, so there's no emotional difference in the need for somebody to get a picture hung on the wall, to get a door handle fixed, or to renovate a bathroom, to renovate a house. Everybody has a need of some sort, and as cleverly, what we want to do, and what we do is we want to ensure that we meet that need for that person. Bathrooms I think, are amazing. They're a very, very personal space, and same with renovations. To think that we're going to do something in somebody's house that potentially they could live out their life for. They may conceive their first child there. They may have their first child there. Their kids' first walks might be there. There's so much that's going to happen in a home. To be part of that is a privilege. It's not. That's what I enjoy. And I bring back to the scenario. Say, hanging a picture on the wall. For the dollar per value of what it costs to hang a picture on the wall, I get to find much out there from any other industry that can provide for you such a long-term feedback of that picture is put in the right spot, at the right height, exactly where I wanted it, at my dining table, and all my guests can see when we have a dinner party, and that's awesome. That's what I have to say to the guys is, every job is important, every customer has a need, and that is our job to ensure that it is met. And just do it well. Do it like it's your own home. Be proud of what you do. I mean, it's an honour what we do, the fact that we're allowed to come into people's houses to do what they have requested. It's not a right, it's not something that I think we should be taking fleetingly. It's important.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah. And that's the ethos I have. And it's like, go out, do it right. Do it right, because that's what they want. That's why they asked us.
What's a vision that you have for, I guess, your business or your, I'm going to call it livelihood, because I hate the word business here, but livelihood, meaning that your vision, what is it you want to do with it in the future? You're a very innovative man. I want to hear the innovation.
Oh, geez, yeah, okay. I'd also up a discussion about a multiverse with various possible futures. Because there's so many available out there. Impacting the industry in a way where we creating a business where people want to come to work. You work with Clever Dick, yeah. Geez, I've tried to get into them 3 times.
Wow.
They're so hard to get into. And
Wow.
it's not just maybe because of your skills, it could be your personality, the way that you communicate. It's so much more involved than just a skill set. You can teach a person a skill, that's what I found. But to find people that want to communicate, that want to be part of something that's bigger than themselves, that's what I want to create. As to how big that goes, I think that kind of mentality is unlimited. My dream eventually is for us to be on a national scale and involved in so many different aspects of the industry, whether it being commercial or domestic, and just maintain the philosophy we have there, increase it and grow it. I never want a franchise. I don't want to do that. I think for us we would lose the soul of what we become. Yes, it's a business. Yes, it does have to operate profitably. Yes, well, if it wasn't, we couldn't be doing what we're doing. But that's the important part. You've got to have the right people doing the right things, but then you've got to train them as well, because people come in. Right now we've got 12 employees. So how do you do 12 different emotional contents each day? That becomes a challenge. If you're triple the size, where you go to 50 employees, well, how do you do 50 emotional different contents each day? That's a challenge. It's fun sometimes. Sometimes you tear your hair out. I've got a lot of grey since I've started this business as well. Because but at the same time we've got 12 families to feed each week. That's pretty cool.
That's a nice way of saying that.
I like that. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? You've become something that I've seen on your website too, and I think, and also the roles. Like you have, you've got a role almost like a domestic builder. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And then Michael's got a slightly different role over here.
Correct. So
tell us more about that.
Okay, so
because that involves the community as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the business breaks into 2, I suppose, sectors. We've got our services division and our constructions division. The reasons why we split it was there's different levels of works that are required. It's almost like a different gearing system for a business, where a business operating under services, which can be faster, more responsive style areas, that you need a different style of answering the phone in some way, but the way the job is handled, the ability to be able to get additional trades and things and to coordinate things in very rapidly. Constructions works more on, right, we're doing a bathroom or doing a full renovation. They're longer term things. They're like 3-week to 3-month or 6-month projects. So splitting that up in different ways meant that we could operate the companies efficiently. Although we use the same pool of staff, they operate more efficiently that way. So I actually have a business partner on the constructions division. His name is Steve. And we've known each other for a little while now, and we got along very, very well. And he's got an amazing amount of experience.
Amazing, that's great.
And that's why, although very few people have met Steve. Steve kind of tends to sit in the background a little bit, which is almost where he likes to be, but he's going to be there on the night, so everyone's going to get to meet him too.
Also, and what is Micah doing? He's in he's in one of the divisions too.
So Micah pretty much runs the services division, which is all of the maintenance areas, and even with maintenance, we can do larger maintenance projects. We're doing a couple at the moment, which includes, say, there's some water damage, so we do some plastering, painting, flooring repairs, plumbing works, and some electrical works. And so it's a fair bit to coordinate for a commercial building, but that's what we do on the services side. That doesn't have to fall under domestic building, which works well. Yeah.
Okay. And to give us a final note, like, what would you want? Like, I want people to come and say hello to you on the night.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a fair bit of connecting with the community and the B&I world in the next 6 weeks.
Yep.
But what would be something you'd like to say to people about coming on the night?
Oh, just come. Yeah, fun. Yeah, absolutely have fun. It's amazing how many people you actually end up knowing through there. But I've actually say my niece and her friend are coming again as well.
Wow.
They've come the last few times, and I think they're inviting a few more friends now as well. So it's also trying to get other people in. I'm trying to say, we'll invite other people. Let's not just be the crew. Let's get.
No, of course.
I
love what you're saying. It's just, let's expand the circles a bit.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a fun night. And I think you've said it before that if you were to put your hand up in a room of how many people have been affected by mass suicide, or depression, or anxiety, or whatever, I would be hard to see a hand go down.
Correct.
So
That's right. It does affect a lot of us, and we're all people, and we all serve communities. So, Richard, I want to say thank you.
No, thank
We've got
you.
a few more sessions to do, I think, before
I'm looking forward
the
to it.
6
Yeah.
weeks. But this is a great introduction. Thanks,
thank
mate.
you so much.
My pleasure, mate.
Okay. Bye.
Cheers.